In this video, we're going to take a tour of the Skadi Smart Handle, including the hardware and software required when using it. The Skadi Smart Handle is an upgrade from the Skadi Standard Handle. Now you can always tell which one you have because if you have a Skadi Smart Handle, you're going to have this decal here. If you have the Skadi Standard Handle, you're not going to have a decal here. So the first thing we're going to start with is just my Skadi Smart Handle itself. So let's take a tour of this. The first thing I want to point out is the stem of the Skadi Smart Handle. Now you're going to notice that it looks a lot like the battery pack to your Skadi receiver, and that's because they slip into the same slot in your Skadi receiver. The next thing you're going to notice is if I look at the stem underside, you're going to see 3 cutouts. Now these cutouts are where your sensors are going to be activated from. It's also where your green laser pointer is going to shoot from when you're using the extensible virtual range pull mode, which we'll talk a little bit about later. Further below that, you're going to see your model. Now this SKU or SKU is what tells you again that you have a Skadi Smart Handle. Mine says Skadi Smart. And just below that, you've got your serial number for this Smart Handle. Your serial number is unique to your product. Just below your sticker, you're going to see your first of 2 attachment areas. Now these are used to attach your Skadi hand and wrist strap, which I'll show you a little bit later. The second of the 2 is at the bottom here. So you're going to use these in tandem to attach your hand and wrist strap. And then just below the first of those attachment areas, you're going to see your trigger. Now this trigger is used only in extensible virtual range pull mode, which we'll show in another video. All the way at the bottom here of the handle, I've got my battery insert slot. Now this is where I'm going to put my battery when I'm using the Skadi Smart Handle. So I'll actually insert that right now so you can see. Now when I'm inserting the battery pack, I always want to make sure that these arrows are facing up, and that's how I know I've got it in the right direction. If you've got the sticker, it's the wrong direction, that's the bottom. So we're going to slide this in, and now our battery pack is in. The next thing I'll show you is how to release your battery pack. So you'll see on either side of the Smart Handle, you've got these 2 buttons. Now it's important to push them concurrently. So I'm going to push my battery release buttons and pull the battery pack out, and it slides out just like that. And for now, I'm going to keep it in. The last thing I'll show you is this knob that you'll see on top of the Skadi Smart Handle. This knob is used to attach your phone or tablet bracket. When you purchase any Skadi GNSS receiver, you're going to receive both the phone and tablet bracket, so you can interchange them. Now for this video, I'm going to be using my iPhone, so I'm going to be using this phone bracket. But if I were using a tablet, this is what my bracket would look like. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble all of this and continue the tour of the Smart Handle. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to assemble is my phone bracket onto this knob. So all I'm going to do is pop it on with pressure first, and then I'm going to turn the connector to the right to tighten it. Good to go. The next thing I'm going to do is attach my hand and wrist strap to the back for some extra support. So I'm going to take the hand and wrist strap, and you'll see that I've got these 2 Velcro tabs at the top and the bottom. So all I'm going to do is slip the Velcro tab through either of these attachment areas. So the way that I've attached my hand and wrist strap is so that my wrist attachment is on the left side. And that's because I want to be holding the Smart Handle in my left hand so that I can use my phone in my right hand because I'm right hand dominant. So this is how that would look. If you're left-handed, you could simply unvelcro the wrist strap and attach it the opposite way. Then I could use it in my right hand. So the last thing I'm going to attach to complete my Skadi Smart Handle is the Skadi receiver itself. Now remember that the Skadi Smart Handle is compatible with the Skadi 200, Skadi 300, or Skadi Gold. Today I'm using a Skadi Gold. So all I'm going to do is take this battery slot and slide my stem right into it until I hear another click. And we are good to go. Now we're going to take a look at the Skadi Smart Handle settings and metadata in Eos Tools Pro. So the first thing I'm going to do is launch Eos Tools Pro. Now for this video, I've already enabled and initialized my Smart Handle. So to access my Smart Handle settings, the first thing I'm going to do is look for the Smart Handle icon in the top right corner of the Positions tab of Eos Tools Pro. And you can see my icon is green because I'm enabled and initialized. So I'm going to tap that icon. Now, let's run through the settings on this page. The first setting you'll see is my Smart Handle toggle button. Right now mine's toggled on. This is how I enable or disable the Smart Handle. Right beneath the toggle button, you're going to see two tabs. One is labeled extensible, one is labeled invisible. Whichever tab is selected is the mode that you're in. Right now, I'm in invisible mode, and if I wanted to be in extensible mode, I would simply toggle by tapping extensible. But I'm gonna stay for now in invisible mode. So we're in invisible range pull mode, and the first field indicator or metadata I have underneath current status is my RTK status. This tells me whether I'm in fixed or float RTK. The next field is my handle status. This tells me whether or not I'm initialized. If I weren't initialized, I would perform the initialization movement. The next field is a tilt angle. This is the angle at which my hand is tilted. The fourth field is our tilt quality. This is the level of inaccuracy introduced by the angle of our tilt. The final field is the invisible pull height. This tells me the elevation from the ground to my receiver. The tilt angle threshold and measurement quality threshold are optional alert indicators that I could set. For now, we'll skip those. If I toggle to extensible mode, you'll see one additional field called single point mode. This is an optional sub-mode of extensible. If you're using ArcGIS field maps and you're not using GPS averaging, you'll toggle on this mode. Now that we've looked through the Skadi Smart Handle settings, I want to go back to the Position tab to show you one more piece of metadata. At the very top, notice that we've got a set of metadata here labeled coordinates. This shows me the latitude, longitude, and orthometric height values in two columns. In the first column, labeled GNSS, this represents the X, Y, and Z values at the physical location of my antenna. In the compensated coordinate values, this represents the X, Y, and Z being calculated by the Skadi Smart Handle. Now this changes based on whether you're in invisible mode or extensible mode, so I'm going to show you both. Because we're in invisible mode, I'll start with that one. And again, I'm in that Position tab so that I can see that my GNSS and compensated coordinates are exactly the same for the X and the Y, or the latitude and longitude, because they're both representing the X and the Y value of this antenna physically, whereas the Z value for my GNSS column represents this antenna's Z value, and the Z value in my compensated column represents, if you can imagine it, our invisible range pull at the tip over our asset. This is exactly what I want to be capturing. Now let's see what this looks like in extensible virtual range pull mode. In that first column, remember that the GNSS coordinates represent the X, Y, and Z at my antenna, whereas the compensated coordinates are going to represent wherever this green laser is pointing when I'm pressing and holding the trigger. Right now, my compensated coordinates are red because I'm not pressing and holding the trigger. I'm only going to be sending location data to field maps when the trigger is pressed and held. So to demonstrate this really quickly, I'm just going to show you when I press and hold the trigger, that compensated coordinate value is going to turn black, and I'm now calculating the position of that green laser pointer. When I release the trigger, like now, those compensated coordinates turn back to red. This completes our tour of the Skadi Smart Handle. For more videos, click the link to the playlist on the screen or in the description.